plastics, exposure to environmental poisons causes a rise in a hormone called estrogen. And estrogen is a cell proliferator. Cell proliferator means causes massive cell growth. And when a person's hormones are out of balance, it's almost impossible to lose weight.
Hello and welcome back. I'm Barbara O'Neill, and today I'm going to uncover some shocking weight loss secrets. Whether you're looking to shed a few pounds or make significant changes, understanding the science behind weight loss is essential for achieving your goals. Statistics show that over 70% of adults are classified as overweight or obese, which can lead to various health issues such as diabetes, heart disease, and joint problems. But the journey to weight loss isn't just about dieting, it's about making sustainable lifestyle changes that can lead to lasting results. In this video, we'll explore practical strategies for effective weight loss that can help you on your journey. As a thank you for joining me today, we're giving away 100 free copies of my best-selling book to subscribers. So if you haven't yet, hit subscribe, like this video, and comment why you want to win.
63% of Australians are either overweight or obese. I think that America's not far behind, and I say far behind because I know that Australia has taken over America. But when I'm in Alabama and I speak at a health school there, I'll be there next week, and I go to the little town of Loveland, I have to tell you, I think that their big are bigger than our big. They're very large people in those little towns. So my inquiry always is why. And so the first thing I'm going to look at, and there are a few factors that come together to cause this, and that number one is the food that we're eating. When we looked at the liver, we looked at this. And this morning when we looked at diabetes, we looked at this. So we're going to look at it again in relation to weight. And it's the high carbohydrate diet that many people are eating today. I'm still mastering the art of saying one thing and writing another. So bread is very common. Cereal, there's a whole aisle devoted to cereal. And many people having bread and cereal for breakfast, by mid-morning they're wanting something else, so they reach for, and we're just going to say cakes, etc., because if we say everything, there's not enough room on the board for it. When you go into muffins and croissants and donuts and pasties and pies and pastries, etc., etc., etc. So we're just going to put etc. Also, pasta. I'm a fifth-generation Australian Scottish descent. I didn't know what pasta and pizza was till I was about 18. So what did I grow up with? Sausages or chops, mashed potatoes, frozen peas or beans every single night of the week, except for Sunday when Mum would do a roast lamb. And everyone I knew ate like that. Our relatives ate like that, the neighbours ate like that. As a fifth-generation Australian, I grew up in a little Presbyterian church. Everyone in the church ate like that. I came to the conclusion as a child that everyone in the whole world ate like that, but it's not quite true, is it? And when I was about 16, I had a boyfriend who was about 19, and he had a friend who was a vegetarian. I'd never heard of such a thing. Had never even heard of brown bread. So this was real traditional Australian. Rice, I'd never had rice. I don't think I went to a Chinese restaurant till I was about 18, and that's the first time I ate rice. Potatoes, well, we ate potatoes every meal. And last and certainly least in nutritive value is the pure crystallised acid extracted from the sugarcane plant. And as we have looked at this, we've also acknowledged that I don't think anyone chose to eat that way. It's just fast. It's just there. And we're such a fast society today. Here it is. And we showed how when all of these things break down in the body, they break down to the singular structure of glucose.
All these high-carb foods are a big reason why people end up gaining weight. It mainly comes down to how our bodies process them. When we eat things like bread, cereal, cakes, pasta, and potatoes, they break down into glucose, which is basically sugar. Our bodies use glucose for energy, but the issue comes when we eat more than we need. If there's too much glucose and we don't burn it off right away, the body has to figure out what to do with it. The pancreas steps in and releases insulin, which helps store that extra glucose. Some of it goes into the liver and muscles as glycogen, but there's only so much space there. Once those stores are full, the rest gets converted into fat and stored in fat cells. This is how eating a lot of carbs ends up leading to weight gain. Carbs themselves aren't necessarily bad, but eating too many refined ones ends up overwhelming the system. These foods also don't have much fibre or protein, which makes them digest super fast. That quick digestion spikes blood sugar levels, then they drop just as fast. When that happens, you end up feeling hungry again not long after you've eaten, so you eat more. This cycle of eating, spiking blood sugar, and feeling hungry again just pushes people to overeat, and the weight adds up. On top of that, these types of foods are everywhere and they're convenient. In a busy life, it's easy to grab processed, carb-heavy foods. They become the main part of many people's diets instead of an occasional treat, and that's when weight gain becomes a real problem. The sugar in these foods makes things even worse. Sugar doesn't just add calories, it triggers the brain's reward system, making us crave more sugary stuff. It's like a cycle where you crave, eat, and then crave more, which makes it even harder to keep calories in check and stop gaining weight.
The best place or the best time to exercise is early morning. Because in early morning, when you're starting to move, some people say, well, how are we going to get fuel to actually exercise? It's your glycogen stores already sitting in your muscle cell. And when the cell needs it, it's plucked and it's released. Amazing process. But on the high carbohydrate diet, and this is what a lot of people don't realise, especially when people go on a weight loss diet and stop all the fat, yeah? Fat-free this, fat-free that, fat-free, fat-free, fat-free. And yet what are they eating? Lots of carbohydrates. Do you know fat gives the feeling of satiation or satisfaction? And the best weight loss diet is a diet that stops your hunger. And fat stops the hunger. So what's happening on this high carbohydrate diet? People have eliminated the fat and they're eating lots and lots and lots of this, not realising that that excess glucose, once we've filled up the energy cycle, we've filled up the glycogen stores, and so now the body sends it to the fat cells. And on this high carbohydrate diet, what's happening to Americans and Australians? They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
This increase in body size is largely due to how our bodies process excess carbohydrates. When the glycogen stores in the muscles and liver are full, any additional glucose from a high-carb diet is converted to fat and stored in fat cells. This is the body's way of managing surplus energy, and unfortunately it leads to increased fat accumulation over time. The key issue is that many people who think they are eating healthily by avoiding fats are actually missing out on an important macronutrient that helps regulate hunger and energy levels. Fat, particularly healthy fats, is crucial for feeling full and maintaining a balanced diet. Without it, people often turn to more carbohydrates to fill the gap, leading to a continuous cycle of glucose overload and fat storage. Incorporating healthy fats like those found in avocados, nuts, seeds, and olive oil into the diet can help curb hunger and reduce the tendency to overeat carbohydrates. A more balanced approach that includes moderate amounts of protein, fats, and low glycemic carbohydrates can help stabilize blood sugar levels, enhance satiety, and support sustainable weight management.
And another fact, another very misunderstood fact, is that glucose burns at 4 calories per gram, whereas fat, it burns at 9 calories per gram. Now this piece of information, which is fact, is in just about every weight loss book as proof that if you want to lose weight, don't eat the fat. It's going to give you more than twice the calories. But what the people don't understand is what a calorie is. A calorie is a unit of energy. And if you want a high energy food, what do you eat? Fat. It's going to give you more than twice the units of energy compared to glucose. But if you're eating more calories than you can burn, yes, it's going to be stored. That's why one of the best things that you can do for weight loss is to eat breakfast like a king. I have to admit that I think I eat lunch like a king and breakfast like a queen, but whatever. And sometimes the queen eats as much as the king. Lunch like a queen, and then tea like a pauper, or you call it supper, yeah? I think that when I say tea, you probably think I mean a cup of tea, yeah? But we call an evening meal tea. And as one lady said to me, well, what do paupers eat? I said, sometimes nothing. What many people are doing today, and I see it in many countries I go to, they eat breakfast like the pauper, they eat lunch like the pauper, and the tea or the supper is the king and the queen together. That's like going on a journey, and you start your long journey and you go to the gas station, we call it a petrol station, call it a gas station, and just put a little bit in. And then an hour later put a little bit more in, and then an hour later put a little bit more in, and then you've done this all day, and then you finally get to your destination, you go into the gas station and you fill your tank and then park it in the garage. How much sense does that make? And yet that's what most people are doing. I was reading the testimony of a chef. He was large, obese. And he said he used to eat little bits all day long. All day long. That's all he'd eat, little bits all day long. So he decided to do an experiment. He decided to get all the little bits and put it into 3 meals. He knew the old saying, and have most of it at breakfast and lunch. And he lost a lot of weight. And he ate the same amount of food. And he ate the same type of food. He just changed the times when he did it. Because he gave his stomach a break. You see, it's like my husband. He says, I had a 2-hour job to do in the office today. He said, at the end of the day, it's 8 hours later and I still haven't done it. Because he said someone would ring up. Someone would come into the office. I kept getting interrupted. Has that ever happened to you? That's exactly what happens to digestion. When we put food in our stomach, we should now leave it. Let it do its work. After about an hour and a half, 2 hours, start sipping on some water. Then you don't water down your hydrochloric acid. It takes 3.5 to 4 hours to digest a meal.
If you want to fuel your body properly and keep your metabolism running smoothly, it's important to eat the right foods at the right times. Think of your body as a car getting ready for a long trip. In the morning, it needs enough energy to get through the day. A hearty breakfast can kickstart your metabolism and keep you energized, which helps reduce the chance of overeating later on. Unfortunately, many people skip breakfast or eat very little during the day, only to consume most of their calories in the evening. By that time, your body doesn't really need all that fuel, and any excess is likely to be stored as fat. This pattern can lead to weight gain and metabolic problems over time. Instead, aim for smaller, balanced meals throughout the day. A breakfast rich in protein, healthy fats, and complex carbohydrates can help keep your energy steady. This not only keeps cravings at bay, but also ensures your body is using the calories it gets rather than storing them.
You can do the plant proteins. You can do the plant fats. Dr. Atkins, on his first stage, he got people down to 20 grams of starch, carbohydrates a day. Do you know there's no need to go that low? All you need to do is greatly reduce the carbohydrates, ideally stop the wheat, eat more vegetables, eat more legumes, nuts and seeds, and you can get a similar result. Because of the results that he was getting, And by the way, his cancer patients were going into remission. People with high cholesterol were coming back to normal. Did everyone hear that? And his patients were eating meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. And what are people told to get their cholesterol levels down? They've got to stop the meat, butter, cream, cheese, eggs. So Atkins threw a spanner in the nutrition world's wheel, and it needed the spanner thrown into that wheel. And the only reason his patients got away with it for so long is the 3 cups of vegetables a day, which have an alkalizing effect. But the beauty of the plant proteins, it's much cleaner burning fuel. It doesn't leave an acid waste like the protein does. And when I was consulting with this man, he said to me, I believe if Dr. Atkins had read the China study, Atkins would have become a vegetarian. What an interesting comment. So you can get those results, but you can do it on a plant diet, as long as you do the legumes. And so many people say, oh, legumes, you've got to soak them, you've got to cook them. Well, when you go home tonight, just fill up the saucepan and fill it up with lentils. In the morning, rinse it well, bring it to the boil, rinse it again, put it in your slow cooker. There's lots of shortcuts. Or soak a whole lot, rinse heaps of them, and then put them in snap lock bags in the freezer. Then you just pull it out, cook them. There's lots of shortcuts. And you can get organic beans in tins. Just make sure you bring them to the boil and rinse them very well. So it's easy, it need not be difficult.
When it comes to weight loss, the foods you choose to include in your diet play a significant role. Plant-based proteins like legumes, nuts and seeds are not only nutrient-dense, but also help keep you full for longer. This satiety can reduce overall calorie intake, making it easier to create the calorie deficit necessary for weight loss. Unlike animal proteins, which can be high in saturated fats and calories, plant proteins offer a lower calorie alternative that provides essential nutrients without excess calories. Moreover, increasing your vegetable intake supports weight loss through their high fiber content. Fiber helps promote digestion and regulates blood sugar levels, preventing spikes that can lead to cravings. The fiber found in vegetables and legumes slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream, which helps maintain steady energy levels and reduces hunger pangs. This can lead to fewer unhealthy snacking habits and a more consistent energy supply throughout the day. Additionally, many plant-based foods are naturally low in calories. Incorporating foods like leafy greens, broccoli, and other non-starchy vegetables into your meals increases volume without significantly raising your caloric intake. This means you can enjoy larger portions while still adhering to a calorie-restricted diet, which can make the weight loss process more satisfying. Another aspect of plant-based diets is their alkalizing effect, which can support overall health. An alkaline environment in the body helps reduce inflammation, which can be a barrier to weight loss. This approach promotes a healthier metabolism and can make it easier to lose weight over time. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope this video has given you some valuable insights and practical tips for your weight loss journey. Remember, small consistent changes can lead to significant results over time. If you found this information helpful, please like this video and share it with others who might benefit. And don't forget to subscribe for more content on improving your health and well-being. Until next time, take care and stay healthy.